Hey guys, welcome to the Fish Bluewater channel. So do you know how you know when someone is an icon in fishing? Well, they might just have their own section of offshore fishing gear and Bass Pro Shops. So I'm here in Dania, Florida, closest Bass Pro Shops to where I live, filling in some gaps for some swordfish gear and some stuff that, just some holes in the tackle supply that I have. And I just happened to be out fishing with this icon right here, Mr. RJ Bobby Boyle. He's got his studio and shop in Lighthouse Point, Florida. We were actually out daytime sword fishing with him about 2 weeks ago on his charter boat, the Lisa B. And Bobby actually happened to share a handful of tips with me as we were hanging out, talking fishing that day. And I was impressed enough with some of the knowledge he was sharing in 16 years of daytime sword fishing that we just cut a video with some of those tips from that trip, and we're bringing it to you here at the Fish Bluewater channel, so enjoy. You're along for a ride with the most legendary guy ever. Hold it there, Mark. In the swordfish game.
Good to go.
I'm all disoriented right now. So are we pushing to the south right now?
I know, because you can't tell
I can't,
from land. I know,
I have
it's so
no
weird.
idea. I couldn't tell you where land is right now.
We're going north.
We're going north right now.
Feels like we're going south.
Yeah. So I noticed right out of the bat, you've got a hooker Tiagra for the buoy rod, but an LP for the tip rod.
I did, and
now I'm assuming that's by choice. Why is that?
You know, a lot of these reels are good, but because I can take this motor off the reel, so if we happen to hook a fish or when we need to walk around the boat,
right,
I can undo this reel by taking this motor off, and I'm free to be able to
do what you need to.
Walk around, do what I need to do. So
very cool.
Hard to pick up an LP and walk around the boat.
Yes, trust me, I've experienced that firsthand.
That's right. That was your first mark. We're coming up on our second mark, which is 1,600 feet. So we're going to put these buoys on at 1,600 feet.
How many marks do you have on that?
I have 5 on here. Here we go. You ready? So this is your buoy mark. This is your loop, and your loop's going to go right on there. Go ahead and let him see what you're doing there. So he's looping it right on that second mark.
Now, are the different marks based on how deep you want to fish the bait? Obviously.
Correct.
Okay.
So right here, basically we're going to put that on the 1,600 foot mark. We're fishing up to 1,750, but there's a shock absorber effect,
yeah.
and so that bait's probably up 200 feet off the bottom.
I flirted with death on my last daytime sword trip. We weren't getting any bites in the deep. It was a slow day, so I slid in to like 1,500 just off of this shelf, and I was on the 1,500 mark with the buoy rod, and I was like, I'm going to be flirting with death. Guess what? I lost.
Yeah, you lost.
We hung bottom.
All right.
We got the old bonita taco.
You know what? One of the best baits of all time. There she is.
How much do you think skirt color matters doing this?
You know what? It's hard to say. I don't know if they see tone, dark, light, color.
Right.
I don't think that's something we'll ever really know.
Yeah.
But it makes us feel good, you know.
So we're back into the south right now.
We are back into the north.
Or, I'm sorry, back into the north, yeah.
Correct. A little weird, isn't it?
I'm so turned around right now with this weather.
Thank you. All right, Marcus. So in essence now, he's backing up to the buoy. He's retrieving the slack line, and our rod is to the south. When we take it out of gear, we're going to be fishing perfectly, just like we would. There's no turning around on what we're doing right now. Very different from the norm.
Gotcha.
If you take a look at what Luke is doing, he's zigzagging that line back and forth really fast, and that's bridging the spool so that if you were to later get a fish on, you don't want to put loose spool on a reel and have it dig in, so you want to crisscross that line. Kind of a good tip for sure. The only time you're fishing here, so he came up 50 is what happened, Jamie. So he's, you know, when you're sitting here for long periods of time, obviously the fleet's not really getting bites. You know, but we have a tendency now after 16 years of daytime sword fishing to really be able to put the bait where we want it at 100 feet off. Problem with that is if the fish are stationed at 300 off, you really don't get any bites. So, you know, somewhat into the drift, 30 minutes into the drift, what we'll do is we'll come up 50 feet every 5 minutes to get that bait in a different water column. And what you notice sometimes is the fish are 350, 400 feet off the bottom. And what I was just telling Ben here is that at times of the year, it's no different than being on the reef. There can be colder water at the bottom that they don't want to be in. There could be water. There could be an element that we don't see.
Right.
Thermoclines and things that.
I was just going to mention that.
And what's interesting, years ago when we sword fished at night, and some nights you'd see that thermocline, you know, 250, and the thermocline during the night would always rise up, right? Mm-hmm. And some nights you had 2 thermoclines, but what would happen is you'd notice a lot of times the bottom, the deepest rod would get the bite that was under the thermocline.
They wouldn't come up above the
They wouldn't go through it.
Right.
So you're making those adjustments, and some people, you know, a lot of people think, oh, well, daytime sword fishing, it's so boring. It can be if you don't get the game.
Right. Well, and if you just sit there and look at a tip and expect for a bite rather than thinking through, like, what's happening, what kind of adjustments can we make, you know, to potentially figure out what's going on.
You know what's cool about it, though? I'll tell you what I really love. So right now we're sitting, we got 2 really good fishermen inside of us here. So there's 3 boats sitting here. We're all waiting for a bite. We're all caught plenty of swordfish. So hypothetically speaking, we could
get ours first,
I know,
by the way.
Exactly. Hypothetically speaking, we could get a bite here and catch a fish 400 feet off the bottom, where John will ask me, are you getting bit? And I'll go, yeah, we're 400 feet off the bottom. So he'll make the adjustment. There's no secrets with the guys here,
right.
You know, and it's funny because a lot of places you go, the camaraderie is very different. They don't want to give up secrets. They don't say anything. You know, it's kind of weird that way. We've been doing it so much and we understand what it takes money-wise to come out here and try and catch a fish like this.
Well, and you've been doing this long enough, like I always say, that who doesn't want to grow our sport? And growing our sport means sharing information.
100%.
You know what I mean? You can keep it all to yourself and have this, you know, smaller little, you know, kind of experience and everything else, but like,
I remember Art
I think
Sapp,
the only way we grow the sport.
Yeah, Art Sapp would say, you know, he'd be on the phone on the whole tournament. And, you know, the honesty would always pay off for you. Right. You know what I mean? And helping other people out.
Well, and you learn to share information with people that share it with you.
Tournaments is tough. I get it. In a tournament, one thing, you find a little thing that helps you get an edge. I get it for that day, but, you know, everyday fishing, with sword fishing, you're going so much, you're spending so much money that it's like, man, help a brother out here. How'd you just get a bite? Where were you? How was your bait? Was it on the buoy rod? Was it on the tip rod? What were you using? You know what I mean?
That's right.
So all of the information is crucial, man.
No, that's awesome. You know, that you have that level of knowledge and you're willing to share that with not only your buddies, but, like, you know, people that are like myself, you know. I've been bugging the crap out of you to come do this. I've been fishing my whole life. I've caught plenty of swords, but I know there's countless things that I could learn from you. So why not?
People say, oh, it's because, you know, I have a subscription platform. Some people say, oh, you know what, you have no problem because people pay every month because you get people on your subscription. Let me tell you something, man. Before I ever had a subscription, we were trying to figure this fishery out and and helping people. You know, before I had any of that, or I even had a store, I fished for a living. You know what I mean? Right. So when you're fishing for a living, you get to understand, man, you know, who the sandbaggers are. The people who don't say anything and don't help out, and you know, find a pallet and tell you about an hour after they caught everyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's great. They're all sandbagging.
Sure. That guy never gets a call again in the future.
100%.
So we just pulled our buoy rod in. Didn't have anything slack us off, but checking out the bait, we definitely had a whack down there. Check that out. He took a nice chunk out of that.
So, you know, one of the things when you do charters, people are constantly asking you questions. And the truth is, when you come out here, most people have never done it. So, you know, in a situation where you have weather like this, you know, we came out today and we're like, oh, this is kind of a northeast day. Feels drizzly rain. You know, does that have an effect on the fish? And the answer is 100%. And you can say that now after 16 years of daytime sword fishing because of log books. We keep everything that we, you know, all our catches, which is a lot of information. But when you have weather like this and the barometer's bottoming out or dropping, right? It's a bad scenario in sword fishing.
Right.
So to give you the cliff notes, steady barometer for swordfish is key. Just prior to the drop of the barometer is everything.
Wow. Okay.
So, and that could be an hour before it starts to drop, or it could be a full day before it starts to drop,
right,
based on the moon and the front. So a couple ingredients going on there. So what we noticed, like yesterday, there was a couple nice fish caught. It was a day prior to this backing up on us. Now you're sitting on it. The barometer has come down to probably 29.5, 29.6.
Are they getting lockjaw?
Kind of. So you know that's what you deal with sword fishing. You know, of all the years doing it, I can think of maybe 2 or 3 days where we had conditions like this where we actually caught them.
Really?
Yeah. And it's just an odd thing. They're affected, you know. It's like us driving down 95 and not having a jacket. And it's 30 degrees and we got to walk into Burger King. You don't want to even get out. I don't want to get out, man.
That's okay. I'd still rather be here than in the office, buddy.
No, I know. I'd rather be in the office. Truth be told. Yeah. Look at it shaking. Get him. That was funny, dude. So funny, we're sitting here freaking sword fishing. Start seeing, we thought it was tinker mackerels, but they're blackfins. That's a nicer one there. Unless he's hooked in the tail. Mine are always bigger than yours, Luke. Mine are always bigger than yours.
I know.
I'm just saying, it's just...
Why is that?
It's a common occurrence.
It's always a competition, no matter what we do.
Always.
I don't care if it's freaking catching bait, whatever we're catching.
Let's go.
Yes, and I win the contest. Get him, Hoss.
Let's go.
You got it, baby. Weird to catch a nice, I mean, if this was a big one, that'd be weird, wouldn't it, Mark? Catch a big one out here? Decent?
Pump that thing. Pump. Up.
There you go.
Up.
Yeah, he's coming up.
You ever seen the State Farm commercial?
Let's go.
You gotta be quicker than that. You're not here yet. Don't pump it. Twist it. Twist it.
I think a fire.
Never been so excited to see a blackfin.
Rogue wave.
We're waiting on a sword, but we'll take a blackfin.
Keep them this
Yep,
way.
yep. Yep, keep going, Ben. Keep going, Ben. Keep going, Ben. Yep, under the boat. Keep going. Get over here, Ben. Oh, God. Oh, Jude. Nice one. Yeah. Let me see that. Dude, out here?
Oh, nice, man.
Bro, out here? That's a nice tuna.
Put the smokings on them.
Here, hold that up next to Ben.
That's because this was my jig.
Yeah, hold it up next. Hold it up near Ben with the jig. Hold it up near Ben. Ben, hold this up. Yeah, hold that suck. Even higher.
Hold the rope. You sell this at your shop?
Oh.